Welcome to the Market Herald Capital Compass. I'm Ryan Dillon, reporting from downtown Vancouver. Our next company is Sonoro Energy, headquartered in Calgary, Alberta. The company is focused on oil exploration and production in Canada and abroad. Joining us today is Richard Wadsworth, Chairman and CEO, who is here to speak about the company and its recent projects. Hello, Richard, and welcome.
Thank you, Ryan. Pleasure to be here today with you.
And for our listeners who may not be aware, can you provide a brief overview of Sonoro and your personal experience?
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. I'll start with my personal experience, and then I'll give you a little bit about Sonoro. So I started in the industry probably a little over 30 years ago. Worked for a company called Coke Exploration, which was involved in a lot of heavy oil and shallow gas development in northern Alberta, in the Bonnyville, all the way to Lloydminster, Saskatchewan area. So you'll see some relevance to that here as we go on. Following that, I went internationally. I was a founder of Bankers Petroleum in Albania, where we brought on a brownfield redevelopment project, and eventually that went on to over 20,000 barrels a day and was sold successfully. And then most recently, in the last 10 years, I pretty much spent most of my time in the Middle East. And the last 6 years, actually, in Iraq, helping develop a 50,000 barrel a day, leading a development there for a 50,000 barrel a day development. You know, Sonoro, been on the board and as CEO a couple times. Most recently, we're really focusing now back in the Western Canadian Sedimentary Basin, and focusing back to, I guess, my home roots, heavy oil, and the opportunities that even today, after 30 years, from when I first started, they're still going strong, and there's a lot of opportunities with new technology to bring these on and create production and generate cash flow. And that's what Sonoro's, that's where we're starting. But as you'll see as we go on, Sonoro's a bigger story than that, in that we want to be able to take what we have here in Canada, what we learned, the technology, and be able to leverage that into international opportunities that we see.
And this week, Sonoro began drilling on its first well located in Saskatchewan. Can you tell our audience what this means for the company?
Yeah, this is the first well. We're on it today. It's drilling as we speak. Hopefully, we'll have some more news early next week on this well. It's targeting a Waseca channel that is well defined, offsetting some of Baytek's production, where they've got 1,800 barrels a day of production in the Kerrobert area. And this is a vertical well, but the next well that we're going to be drilling is going to be a multilateral horizontal with multilaterals lined, which is something new, maybe not new to Western Canada, but certainly it's coming along, and it's something that internationally could open a lot of doors for us. So, but getting that first production here in Saskatchewan, getting that cash flow is key to giving that foundation for Sonoro that we can then utilize going forward.
And moving on to strategy, can you provide a summary of just the overall strategy for Sonoro as we head towards the end of the year?
Yeah, so we've got this first vertical well and the horizontal, multilateral horizontal. That part of the strategy is establishing that early production, that early cash flow to set that foundational base for Sonoro. But along the lines with that, though, is the element of as a junior company looking at international opportunities. It's very important that we show that we have production, we have success, we have technology that we can deploy, and we're pursuing a number of opportunities in the MENA region that I think will fit very well with what we're doing here. So hopefully we'll be able to announce something, hopefully by the end of this year, if not early next year, on the international front. But along the way, we'll continue with our development in Saskatchewan, building our production, building our cash flow, and then simultaneously looking for other opportunities where we can come in at a low cost and find those niche opportunities where we can grow with low risk.
And speaking of that MENA region, the company has identified several oil and gas opportunities there. Can you talk a little bit about those new ventures and their growth potential?
It's still a little bit early to talk specifics at this point, but I think what you can see, if you look at our board, this summer we added Sarah Akbar and we added Henry Lagar to our board, both of which have a tremendous amount of experience and a great reputation, having worked, throughout the MENA region and Africa region and even into South America. And they've been wonderful to work with. And, we're identifying opportunities. We've all been together on a number of occasions over the last few months, looking at different opportunities and hopefully advancing on a couple key ones here as we go forward. But let's, for now, our focus is getting these wells drilled, getting the production, getting them on stream, getting the cash flow going. And hopefully we'll be able to lock down one of these transformational opportunities where we can apply some of the technology and learnings that we have here in Western Canada.
And moving to more of a broader outlook, what makes Sonoro a strong investment for those looking to add an energy sector stock to their portfolio?
I think, one of the key aspects is that we're not focused on exploration and high risk. What we're focused on is areas where we can get early production, we can get that cash flow going, and we can work on development opportunities and put our capital into the ground to generate the revenues and cash flows, and then continue to grow without having to take on a lot of upfront risk and putting up a lot of capital upfront, and then basically growing it through the development side on the assets that we pick up along the way. So I think it's going to be an exciting time for us with what we're doing in Saskatchewan, and as we drill more of these multilateral wells, I'm sure we're going to learn and we're going to get better at it. And then I'm really excited about being able to take that and not just what we're doing here in Saskatchewan, but what the industry in general is doing here in Canada and the United States, going after other tight zones that have a tremendous amount of resources available that just have not been unlocked yet. And so we hope to be able to tack onto one of those and be able to unlock some of that value for the countries we work in and the shareholders, of course. So it should be a very exciting time going forward.
Mm-hmm. And thanks again for joining us today, Richard. Again, we've been speaking with the chairman and CEO of Sonoro Energy, Richard Wadsworth. You can follow the company on the Venture Exchange under the symbol SNV or head to their website at sonoroenergy.com for more information. I'm Ryan Dillon for the Market Herald. Thanks for watching.